Hey there, first grade. How's everybody doing today? All right, so I'm going to make myself small here because today we are going to be doing our Unit 7 review. We have finished Unit 7. So over the next couple of days, we're going to be reviewing some of the skills that we've been learning, and then you're going to have some of the problems from the review to complete in Seesaw. So let's get started. What did we learn? Well, one of the big things that we learned in this past unit was that we had learned about fact families. And we learned that we had a fact triangle and that we have three numbers that can make a fact family. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come up with one of our facts, and then I'm going to see if you can come up with the other fact. So let's see. Remember that our triangle has two addition facts and two subtraction facts. So my first addition fact that I'm going to come up with is 8 plus 4 equals 12. And I didn't even need to think about that. 8 plus 4 equals 12. All my numbers are already there for me. And remember that the number at the top is always going to be your biggest number, right? The 12 is bigger than the 8, and the 12 is bigger than my 4. All right, first grade mathematicians, who can come up with another addition problem? So far we did 8 plus 4 equals 12. What would be another addition problem? And I'll give you a hint. That's right, the turnaround fact. Hopefully you guessed 4 plus 8 equals 12. Notice that in addition, my biggest number comes at the end, right? It's my answer. It's the answer to the problem. But now we have to come up with some subtraction problems. And in subtraction, my biggest number comes first. So I know my 12 is going to come first. 12 subtract, I'm going to say 12 subtract 8 equals 4. And I'm going to see if you can come up with the last missing fact family for this triangle. Remember, your biggest number is going to come first. So in subtraction, that's going to be my 12. Hopefully you guessed 12 minus 4 equals 8. Awesome job. So that was one of our big skills in Unit 7. We learned how to read fact triangles and come up with a fact family. We also learned how to come up with a missing number in a triangle. Just to remind you what that looked like, if I had this triangle here, and I had a 10 at the top, and I have a 4, and this number is missing. So I have to think 4 plus what equals 10. The 10 is going to be my biggest number. Some students say 14. No, 14 it can't be right because 10 has to be my biggest number. 4 plus 6 equals 10. So sometimes we have to figure out the missing number in a triangle also. So one of the other things that we learned is a game called Salute, and this is such a fun game. This game is played with 3 players, and 2 players get a number, and they don't see the number that they have. The number gets put on their forehead. So you could see my 2 little friends here. They both have a number on their forehead. Now they can only see their partner's number. They don't know what number they have. Now the general, the third player, he tells them what their sum is. So the general can see both numbers. He's the only person in the game that sees both numbers, and he adds them up because the sum is the answer to an addition problem, a plus problem. So the general says, 6 plus 4 is 10. So the general says, the sum is 10. Now, I don't know what number is on my forehead, right? I'm going to pretend I'm the little boy. Well, here it is. The little boy has this number on his forehead, but I don't know it. But I can see my partner's number. My partner's number is a 4. And I know the answer's 10. So I have to think, what plus 4 equals 10? So then I guess, 6 plus 4 equals 10. And if I'm right, my general gives me a salute. So this is a fun game to play at home if you have 3 people and if you have some number cards. Now, let's try another one here. So this time, I'm going to make myself big on the screen. All right, so here's our salute game. Now, I have this number on my forehead. I don't know what my number is. I'm pretending I don't know. Right, let me stick it in my forehead. There it is. And my partner has this number. So I can see my partner's number, but I don't know my number. So now the general is going to add up the 2 numbers because he sees both of them. So the general is going to say the sum is 10. And I'm going to look at my partner's number 3. 3 plus what equals 10? 3 plus, I don't know what my number is. 3 plus 3 in the rock. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7. And the general will salute me if I am right. It's a 7. So I'm a magician. So that's how the game Salute works. And from the game Salute, we can get number models. So this number model here with the 6 and the 4 and my answer being the 10, my number model is 6 plus 4 equals 10. So that's how I knew what my missing number was. Or that's how I knew what the number on my forehead was, because I was able to do an addition problem. All right. And then we also learned counting up and counting back. And we learned that sometimes when we subtract numbers, it might be easier to count up. Sometimes it's easier to count back. So when we had a problem like 11 minus 9, I could count up. I could start at 9, and then I can count until I got to 11. 9 in the rock, 10, 11. Oh, look at that. 9 in the rock. There's my rock. 10, 11. How many times did I count? 9 in the rock, 10, 11. I counted 2 times. Well, that was really quick. But I could also count backwards. I can start at 11, and then I can count back 9 times. Let's see. 11 in the rock, and I'm going to count back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I counted back 9 times, and I landed on 2. So I counted back 9 times, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I counted back 9 times. 11 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I landed on 2. Which way was easier? Was it quicker to just count up? 9 in the rock, 10, 11, I'm done. Answer's 2. Or was it easier to count back? 11 in the rock, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, it was a lot easier on that problem to count up. It was quicker, more efficient. So we also learned counting up and counting back. And then we practiced some subtraction problems. 7 subtract 5. Well, you think and see if you know what the answer is. I have 7, and I take away 5. Or I have 5 and I'm going to count up until I get to 7. 6, 7. Or I have 7 and I'm going to count back 5. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. My answer was 2. But sometimes we could be missing the first number in a subtraction problem. Remember, start, change, end. So what would I have to start at if I take away 4 and land on 1? Well, I'm going to start at 5. 5, take away 4, gives me 1. Sometimes the missing number is in the middle. Start, change, end. I start at 5. How many do I have to take away to get to 2? I took away 3. 5 minus 3 equals 2. And sometimes the missing number is our answer, but it's just placed on the other side. This is 10 subtract 5. 10 subtract 5. My answer is 5. So that was a quick review of some of the skills that we learned in Unit 7. Your job in Seesaw is to complete some problems. A couple of those problems will be fact families. So you'll have to complete the fact family. One of those problems will have to do about salute. The sum is 12. Your partner has a 6. You want to try and find what your number is. And then explain what's your number model going to be. And then number 4 is a counting up or counting back problem. Which is going to be quicker? To solve 11 minus 8 by counting up or by counting back. And then the last problem is going to involve some subtraction practice. All right, my friends, today's the first part of the Unit 7 review. Your job now is to head into that Seesaw activity and complete these 5 problems. All right, my friends, get busy. We'll see everybody real soon.